and never. And even in the sky I will start. I'm coming to you by the stars, my dear, my dear. Honey, honey.
Hello. Many novice guitarists have this problem. By pinching the chords, they don't sound. Or they sound like this. Some string sounds or rattles, the rest do not sound. Let's figure out why. I call it beaches, flower, only instead of the letter B, the letter P. Now, who sees and hears me, my students, probably smiles. Although there is no reason for smiles, as it were, here. The first and most common mistake is not putting the squeeze on the strings. That's why they sound like this. You should go back to that lesson of mine where I tell you how to clamp chords correctly, but in short I'll run through it now. I'll explain it to you quickly. Be sure to put locks, be sure to have a right angle here and press the strings in the middle here, these places on the fingers. Some clamp the strings, the chord is fixed and when they start playing it releases the PAL. This should not be done in any case. You have clamped the chord and are pressing it all the time. Because if you let go of your fingers, these flower beaches turn out. The second mistake, also very common, is when you press the second string, let's say, and with the rest of your finger you cling to the lower strings. For example, that's how you clicked it, right? And instead of a right angle, you lower your finger like this. Naturally, the finger pad catches the first string. Do you hear that? In order to avoid this, put a right angle and make sure that other strings do not cling to your fingers. The finger should clamp only the string that is supposed to be clamped on this chord. In order not to cling to neighboring strings with your fingers, you should do this exercise when pressing a chord. Here, for example, is the A minor chord, right? Second, third, fourth. You press the second string first, and play the second and the first so that it sounds both the second and the first. Then put your finger on the third string so that the third, second, and first sound. Then just put on the fourth string so that the fourth, third, second, and first sound. In other words, if you have set a chord in a minor and some string does not sound, then start with one string to clamp. One was clamped, it sounds. Put another finger. Now two are already sounding. Now they have already put the third finger and all four strings should sound. And keep pushing until the end of the chord. And not like this. Push and push. Let's look at a small example of the correct clamping of chords. Using the example of chords in a minor and C major. Many people lose their sound when switching to C major. Why? I explain. Here I am now pressing a minor, then C major. Pay attention to where my finger is located. At what distance from the threshold? A big mistake and a common mistake is when this finger is placed here, not here as it should be, but here in the opposite direction, and it turns out that this is the sound, of course, yes. You need to put your finger closer to this powder. Hold it to the end, clamp the locks, and everything is as it should be. One more time. And then everything will sound for you. The second finger is also closer to the threshold. All the fingers, as it were. That's a minor, right? You already know an example of how everything should sound, where to put your fingers on. I think that when you move a little bit, shift as if just a little bit, move closer to the powders. Here's a minor and move out a little. And then everything will work out for you. I hope I explained to you how to clamp chords correctly. Hold, push. Over time, you will learn how to extract the right sound. Taking into account the previous lessons, where I say how to put this finger correctly, how to put these fingers correctly, which corners, where the locks are, and so on and so forth. Plus, in this lesson, I hope I also gave you some useful information so that your skills increase. Have a nice day. Goodbye.